How are you guys? Hey, Clem. Well, let me see if I can find our stream, and then we may figure out where everybody is. Let's see. I have to find myself on YouTube. Did you find me easily, Clem? Sometimes I have an easy time, and then other times I have a hard time. I'm trying to see the chat, and hopefully I'm not gonna hear myself talking because I don't want that. Okay. Let's see. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. I would appreciate that. All right. Hey, Lee. Hey, Lou. All right. I found myself, but I have to watch an ad. Sorry about that, guys. Even I have to watch an ad before my video. Let me talk a little bit about what we're doing. We have the new catalog. How many of you guys have gotten your new catalogs? Trying to get my other one out. I gotta find it. There it is. Got a lot of catalogs overlapping. That's okay. I'm glad you found me, Lee. I appreciate that. Okay. Lou's still waiting. I know Lee got hers because I heard from her. Rita, have you gotten your catalog in the mail yet? And hi, welcome, Rita. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, guys, for me. So we have these two catalogs going out at the same time, and the last chance list is dwindling before our eyes. And then we have fantastic, Rita. And then we have the new catalog coming, which I'm not allowed to open until the 2nd of May in front of you guys. So you can just see the cover, and you can see the back cover, and that's it. Unfortunately, I can't show it, but if you are still looking to get some items from the last chance list that you didn't buy at the beginning of the month when it went live, we have a reason for you to do so in the tomorrow. Stampin' Up has a free shipping deal, and it's 1 day only. Tomorrow is the day. It's a really great time to stock up on cardstock, blends, adhesive. And if you like to buy your paper pumpkin in a prepaid version, as long as it's a 3, a 6, or a 12-month prepaid, you can purchase it on free shipping day and not pay any shipping on that. So it's a great time to get your paper pumpkin prepaids as well. We also have a new kit I wanted to show you. You know, guys know I love the kit collection. And this is our newest kit. It's called Forever Friends, and it became available on the 12th of this month. And it is $21. It's some really pretty cards. This is some foiling. The striped paper is foiled. And it is a really, really pretty kit. It makes these 2 cards right here, so you get 2 designs and 4 of each. And then, of course, you know, March's kit was the Kaleidoscope kit. That one's super pretty. Then you had February's was the wreath. Hi. January's was the Saying Thanks kit. So that's what we have so far this year. Don't forget about the online exclusive items that are only available in my online store. They're not in any catalog. If you guys missed this new alphabet set called Classic Letters, it's fantastic. You will love it. I have it. It's a really large set. These basic 3D embossing folders are phenomenal as well. You're gonna love those. And I guess that's all the announcements that I have. Don't forget about last chance products and take advantage of tomorrow's free shipping deal to get those last chance items that you were thinking about. You won't have to pay shipping on them. And also, if you want to get a prepaid paper pumpkin, you won't pay any shipping on that. So it's actually quite a nice little deal. For those of you who are watching on your phones, I found out from YouTube that they've added a new feature, kind of like Facebook, where you can like give hearts. And it should be a little button on the side of your chat screen. And when you see that little button there, you should be able to click it and then you can give hearts. I just wanted to let you know because that's a new feature. And I think it's only for iPad and for phones. So try it out if you want to. It's not on the computer. All right, so let me get this stuff out of the way. Move our catalog out of the way as well. And I'm going to show you what we're going to be working on. So yesterday I finished up my series on organization. And so today I decided that we needed to talk about our in colors. Now, when I was talking about organization, I showed you guys the 5 in colors. Hopefully these all fit in the camera. I think they do. Yeah. So you have boho blue, moody mauve, pebbled path, copper clay, and wild wheat. Those are going to be the 5 in colors that we will have. And they're really, really beautiful together. We have a designer series paper in the 5 in colors. That's, you know, our regular general DSP. We have blends. This one's our boho. We have ribbon, which I'm going to be using this ribbon today. Let me show it to you. It's really beautiful. It's a textured ribbon, and it ties the prettiest bows. Here is our the DSP. You get 4 patterns, so you get the dots and the lines, and then you get the hearts and the stripes, the diagonal stripes. So those are the 4 patterns, and then they come in the 5 in colors. So this is something that you'll be able to buy starting on May 2nd. But I wanted to start showing you guys how beautiful these colors are. They're so different than last year's bright in colors. And I really, really love them. So all the projects until Saturday are going to be using just in colors. So that way you guys are going to get used to them before they come out. I think it's going to be a really fun way for you to be able to enjoy them. So let me show you the card we're going to make tonight. Here it is. It's a pocket card. And I call it my Friendship Daisies Pocket Card. It says your friendship means everything. And then I have the bundle comes with this stamp set right here. So you have this little cluster of daisies, which I've used in 2 colors. You have this sideway daisy, which I have here in the front. You have this smaller one, which I've used right here. And I didn't use the large in this particular project, but in the projects in the days to come, you're going to see this large one come into play. I've already been stamping this. I've done 3 projects so far, so I have 2 more to go for you guys. But I was really excited to bring the in colors together, and I thought that the daisy set worked really, really well. They would work with all of these really pretty in colors, to use all of those with the daisy. And this is the die set. So the die set is pretty unusual. So you have this large die that cuts out, leaves the large, the small, and then the sideways daisy all in one pass. And then you have this really cool label, which we're going to use today. I'm going to show you. I used it in the pocket here. So here is a little tab is with that label. I included another of the daisies inside on the part that you would write on in this pocket card. But then you have the outline, which is what I used to die cut out the side daisy and the smaller daisy. So these are them. But as you can see, inside of the lined die, you have another die, and this is a textured die. You can place them on top, and you can cut two, or you can cut it as a separate piece and layer it over the top. It's a really, really gorgeous. Oh, thank you, Judy. I'm sorry I missed your comment until just now. This is a really, really gorgeous set, and I will be using every part of the daisy section so that you guys can see it throughout the week. Like I told you, Saturday being my last day, but I chose to use the outline die. So they come like this, and here's the outline that cut this daisy here, but you can see that there's this inner piece that you can also cut out and layer it over the top if you're just going to use it as a die cut. So you would have that layered piece and then a textured piece that lays right on top of your little daisy piece. It's really a beautiful stamp set. And there's actually designer series paper that is part of this suite of products, and then there's these really cool embellishments as well. So you would get the stamp set, the die set, these embellishments, and the designer series paper if you purchase that as a suite of products. Let me grab the DSP so you guys can see it. It has this large, it's 12 by 12, so it has this large piece that has, I think it's genius because we can cut these apart and use them as layers on our card. But the inside, you have a wash. So you have a blue, boho blue wash, and then there's your daisies. You have this copper clay wash, and then this daisy has a wash at the top and a daisy field at the bottom for some really beautiful cards. Then your next piece is the wild wheat wash on the back, and then this is the daisies. And then the next one you have this, it almost looks like pretty peacock and garden green wash. And then you have this daisy on the front. And then this is the Pebbled Path wash, which has these daisies. Oops, I missed one. Sorry. This daisy right here. Sorry, guys. This is the one that's on the back of the green one, is this daisy here. I had them stuck together. Then the Pebbled Path wash and this daisy. And then the Moody Mauve wash is on the back of the piece that has all the different patterns. So it's a really beautiful pack of paper. All of the products are really pretty in this suite. So I just thought it would be a great way. I had 5 days left, and I wanted to introduce the 5 in colors and then stamp with one of the new sets. So even though you can't buy it until May the 2nd, you'll have a nice array of things done with our in colors. And I'm probably going to be doing an in color club this year, so I will give you guys more information about that on my blog. And you can find the information on inkyhandswarmhearts.com, most likely on Saturday's post. All right, so let's move these ink pads out of here and let's get started making our cool card. So we started with a piece of 11" by 4 1/4 of Pebbled Path. Me too. This has been 3 weeks since I've been able to stamp, so I'm really excited. I've scored it at 5 1/2 inches, and then I used my bone folder to burnish it. It's already been folded in half. I tucked all my little parts and pieces inside. And I have paired this with the gorgeous scallop contour dies. I love these dies. They're fantastic. The stamp set that goes with it is still active as well. And I use these dies all the time. So I took the second largest, and that's what I used for this piece here, for this daisy. For this panel on the front of our card. So this was cut out of our boho blue. And that's what's going to be on the front of our card. And then I cut a piece of basic white to fit inside. Let me get you the measurements of that one. I don't have them written down. Let's see. So we have, looks like 3 5/8 by 2 5/8 of basic white. And we are going to do a little bit of blending here. So let me grab my scrap paper. And let's get started making this fun card. Hey, Meleda, thanks for joining us. I'm going to show you, I have scored this pebbled path at the 5.5 inch mark, but I also need one more score mark. And it's going to be at the 10 inch mark. So you're going to score in two places, at the 5.5 and the 10 inch, because we need a piece to pull back to make our pocket. So what we're going to do with our bone folder is we have this piece scored, and this is the bottom, and then this is going to become our pocket. So that's how our little pocket is formed for us to tuck our piece inside. And this boho is going to fill this bottom section here of our pocket. And I'm going to show you what I did to watercolor, or not watercolor, but to get this really beautiful wash on our basic white. So I'm going to start with just a scrap. You can see this is well loved from all of the stamping I've been doing this week. I certainly have been having the best time stamping. So I'm going to grab my boho blue, and I'm using a small blending brush. And for those of you who don't know, I had carpal tunnel surgery on my hand. So that's why I haven't been stamping, and my last two lives have been things that I didn't have to stamp, so they've been fantastic, that I've given myself time. I just took my I wear a brace that I put over that has an ice pack, and I use that whenever my hand gets tired. I recorded 2 videos today, so my hand was a little tired before this live, so it worked out rather well that I had some time and I was able to ice my hand prior to doing the live stream. So anyway, I wipe off some of that because I don't want it to be super dark, and I'm going to start by blending off and then on really delicately, and I'm using a really light hand. I am not pressing hard at all. I just want a nice, even, pale blue to fill up my card. This 2 5/8 by 3 5/8 inch piece of basic white, and it's not the thick basic white. I just chose to use the regular basic white. So I'm going to darken it just slightly. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe off that little piece to start. I don't want it to be extra dark or have any kind of look other than a smooth one. So in these spots that there's more white, that's where I'm going to fill my color. And I'm just taking my time. I'm so grateful to be able to use my right hand. You don't even know. While I'm grateful that I had a left to use while I couldn't use my right, I'm so happy to be able to use my right hand. Being right-handed, it's hard to use your left. Okay, so we're going ahead and we're filling in the lighter portions. And I just really am using a very light hand. I'm not putting any pressure whatsoever onto the brush. I'm not pressing on the head. I'm just very lightly rotating in a circular motion to fill up this white card with this pretty blue. Yes, Clem, this is a gorgeous color. The cool thing about the free shipping day, Clem, is that as demonstrators, we can order even on a demonstrator order and get free shipping. So now's the time to do your pre-order and get all your new colors and all your new paper and everything and not pay any shipping. So you're going to save a lot of money. All right, so there is my piece. I'm very happy with the color and the amount of blue that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and close my ink pad and move my little blending brush out of the way. And then I'm going to grab my Wink of Stella. And I really like to put Wink of Stella on my piece. And this has it. You guys are not going to be able to see it. It doesn't show very good for some reason in the camera, but there's splatters of Wink of Stella all over here, and it's very sparkly in person. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Wink of Stella started. So I'm going to squeeze it so that I can see some coming through the barrel there. This one's getting a little dry, I think, this pen, but I'm going to, there we go. I got some on my hand, so I know it's coming. All right, and so I'm just going to splatter by tapping my pen right over the top, and I'm putting all that sparkly of the Wink of Stella all over this little piece. Let me check it in my light. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I'm going to flip it this way because I got more on that end than I did on the end closest to me. And I want to add a little bit more. All right. So there's my Wink of Stella. I know you guys probably can't see it. I'm going to try and put it right up to the camera and see if I can adjust the light so that you can see that sparkle. You can see those little flecks. They're just real small. That's the Wink of Stella, and in person, it's actually sparkly. All right, I think I captured it. Now it's focusing down here and not on my paper. There we go. See that little splatter right here in this corner? That's the Wink of Stella. All right, so now we're going to do one more thing. So I have this water bottle that I purchased, I believe, at Target in the travel section, and it just has water in there. My bottle has turned kind of yellow. It's old. I've had it for a while. I'm going to move all my paper out of my way, and I'm just going to put this piece here, but what I'm going to grab is my little towel, and it's just a little towel that I use. It's a microfiber towel that I use to clean and wipe things down in my craft room. So I'm just going to give it a nice mist of water, and it's going to put droplets on this paper. And when I'm happy with the amount of water that's reacting with my ink, I'm going to stop. You can see it's curling because that's what water does to paper. But see those spots that I have now? So that's what I'm going for. And I'm going to use my heat tool. Let me plug that in, and we're going to heat this right up. I have it in my hand. I just have to plug it in for us, and then we can heat that portion up. Excuse me, I'm talking a lot, so my mouth's getting dry. All right, got it plugged in. Let's get to work. All right, so I'm just gonna give it a little bit of drying time here. We're gonna heat it. I'm gonna move this out of the way. And it's going to be glued flat, so it won't matter. If it starts to buckle, I'm going to flip it over, and I'll heat it from the other side. All right, that should be good. All right, so now you can see I have this really cool splatter, and I have that iridescence from the Wink of Stella. I hope you can see those tiny specks. That's the sparkle. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and attach this layer. I'm going to grab my silicone mat. We're going to put a little multi-purpose. And you guys know I go overboard with the glue, which is perfect because since it wants to buckle, it's not going to be able to because my glue is going to hold it in place. So I'm going to stick this in between these little dots. And I'm going to make sure that I have it how I want it, that it's lined up. I'm going to press my edges, of course, first. And then I'm going to take a clear block. And I'm just going to put it on top of it. And I'm just going to move it out of the way for right now. Okay? It's out of the way under that clear block. All right. So let's work on our next piece. So the next piece that we're going to do is the inside portion of my card. So I've already cut my two pieces. I don't really remember the size. So let's see. It looks like we're 3 3/4 by 5. And this is Moody Mauve. And I just wanted a very slight, narrow piece all the way around. You see just a tiny hint of that Moody Mauve. So I went 1/8 of an inch narrower. So it's 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and glue these pieces together. But before we do that, I want to talk to you about this label that I used from the die set. I got to find my die set. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, here it is. You guys know how it is when you stamp, you move everything and then you lose it. So I used this piece to make that label right there, the little tab. Okay. And what I did was I took a scrap piece like this that was a 1/2 inch by however long, it didn't matter. The 1/2 inch was the key, and I laid my label right up against it and cranked it through my die cut machine. And when it came out, this is what I got right there on my finger, right here. So then I had that little piece, and I thought that that was rather a cool way to use this label. All right, so I'm going to move this pebbled one out of the way. I'm going to slide this one back in where it belongs. And what I want to do is place this piece here, okay? And I want to grab another silicone mat. I know I have another one somewhere. Here we go. And I'm going to put a little bit of wet adhesive on the back. And I want basically this piece that's the shorter, this long piece at the bottom, I want that to grab the adhesive. And I'm just rubbing it with the tip of my glue bottle. I'm going to grab my tweezers. And then I'm going to hold this in place where it's going to live on my card. And then I'm going to put this piece, and I'm just gonna barely tuck it underneath. Well, I'm gonna try and lift this a little bit to help myself. Barely tuck it underneath, and I want just a hair of that lip of that label to stick out off my edge there. It's not very much. Let me put the white paper underneath. You can see that it's not very much sticking out, but I just have a tiny little bit sticking out on both sides. And now I'm going to go ahead and attach this on top. And then we're going to add one of my die cut flowers, which I've already stamped because I knew that today might take a little while due to me having a lot to talk about with the free shipping and all the housekeeping. And just the fact that I get to be back here with you guys, I knew I'd talk a little extra. So there is that piece. And let's go ahead and attach a daisy right in that corner. Hi, Lisa. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so glad you were able to make it. I was letting everybody know that this week I am doing in colors because I want to get you guys used to the new in colors. And I also wanted to let you know, Lisa, tomorrow there's a free shipping day. So if there's anything you wanted out of the last chance list, now's your chance to get it without shipping. And if you want to become a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, it's a good time to buy a 3 or 6 month subscription because you don't have to pay any shipping on it. So it's a good way to go. Okay, so we're going to put this to the side. Looks like I got a little adhesive on here, but that's okay. That's what my little adhesive remover is for. I love this thing. All right, so now this goes off to the side, and let's talk about my pocket. This is what's going to get tucked inside, right? So now we're going to work on the outside. So I think that this label piece should be good to go. So we can go ahead and glue it down now that it's nice and flat. Whenever you need to straighten something out, stick it under one of our blocks because they're nice and heavy. And I'm really pleased with how that turned out with the sparkle factor and with the wet droplets. Okay, so this is gonna sound a little crazy, but you know how I am a little bit extra? Well, just indulge me because I can't help myself. I know I go crazy with the glue, but it's just how I am. I have to do it. You don't have to go this crazy with your glue if you don't want to, but it's how I am. All right, almost done. Now we'll have to try and avoid the dots. I'll have to help myself with my tweezers, and there we go. Let's go ahead and attach this at the bottom and make sure that it's even as best I can. And I am going to push down those pieces, and I'm going to grab my block again to help me. All right. So while that's waiting, I'm going to bring my other mat that I had before. I'm going to move that to the side. All right, let's work on our little cluster of flowers. So here is this really cool piece that looks like the membranes of the leaf, and that the leaf has kind of like dried off. Isn't that just fantastic? And then we have the small daisy and then the 2 clusters. I have 4 leaves. And I'm going to show you everything I stamped with. I just didn't want to take the time to have to die cut everything on camera for you guys. So here's all my pieces. Let me show you what I stamped. So let me grab a scrap paper. All right. So this is how we went about doing our daisy. So I started with the outline, And I used boho blue. And I went full color, just like that, okay? Don't mind me as I clean because I don't want blue hands. And then I took the solid image, because it's a 2-step stamp set, and then I stamped off. And then I lined up my daisy. I'm trying to do it as best I can. I'm not right over it, but hopefully it's a little bit forgiving. Okay, and then that's how I got my 2-step daisy. Now for the center, there's this little tiny like fuzzy piece, and I went straight on with our Moody Mauve without any overlay. Okay, so that's how I did this daisy and this daisy. Now the leaves, there's a stamp for the leaves. I will show you that in a second. Here's my leaf stamp, and I just stamped it directly down, and then I die cut that out. With my my stem, I did that also direct, just like that. And it does fade a little as it dries. Then for these flowers right here, I'll show you how I did them. So I did Moody Mauve, full on for the dark flower, okay? And then I used the second for my light flower, okay? And then I took my light and dark boho blue Stampin' Blends, and I put the dark boho blue on my dark flower centers, and I used my light boho blue for my light centers, okay? Then I used the dies, and I die cut them out of the paper that they had been stamped on. Let me grab my dies. So you can die cut out your daisies, okay? Here's the dropped one, which I didn't stamp for you, but I stamped it the same way I did this one. And then here's your other one. You just have to find the right, there we go, there it is, the right fit for your piece. And that's how you cut that one out. And then I die cut out of Moody Mauve this, which is such a pretty little piece. And then of course the even the stem, there's a stem to cut that out, and the leaf also has your leaf piece. I stamped 4 of those. All right, so that's how we got all of those pieces that you see in front of you. So now we're gonna put them together like a little cluster of flowers. Oh, Rita, thank you so much. Clem, the block, the large one that I'm putting down to put is the E block, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the E block. That's what I like to use for a lot of pressure, because it's nice and heavy and it works out really good. Thanks for helping with that, Rita. Sorry I got a little distracted, wasn't reading the chat very well, but I always read it after the live, and I just giggle at you guys. I love that you guys talk amongst yourselves. It makes me so happy. So that's how I went about getting all of these pieces done. So now we're going to go ahead and put them together like a little floral arrangement. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this daisy here on the top of this stem. So I'm just going to put a little bit, and I'm going to put it down here in between the second and third petal, just like that. That's number 1. Then I'm gonna tuck, let's move these guys out of the way. I need some room to breathe. Then I'm gonna tuck this flower underneath that one. So I'm gonna put on these 3 petals right here, I'm just gonna put a little bit of wet adhesive. And I'm gonna lay this piece here and the little dot at the top right on there. Okay, so that's what we have so far. I might rotate it a slight bit. Let's move it up a little like this. I want it standing up more. Okay, so while it's still wet, you can rotate. And if you have any sticky like I have right there, once it dries, I can use the eraser, and I'll show you that in a minute. So next I'm gonna do my light pink flowers, and I want the 2 to stick out. So I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on this pink flower petal right here, and I'm gonna tuck that right there, and I just want them to kind of nest behind those 2 flowers. So that's what I have so far. And then we're going to turn this one the opposite direction so that the triangle, the point, is kind of like this and sticking out. So I'm going to figure out where to put my adhesive. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of this one and the back of this one. And that should be good enough. We're just going to slide that in. That looks good to me. Doesn't have to look exactly like the other one. If I don't like it, I can just move it. Let's see. Yeah, that's perfect right there. Okay. So that's what we have so far. Now let's tuck some leaves in, right? I need a few leaves. One of the leaves we're going to put right here. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the back. And we're going to form a little leaf on that stem. And then we're going to tuck the other 3. So since we're tucking them, we're going to put adhesive on the front. We're going to tuck one here, like that. We're going to tuck one at the top, in between the dark and light pink flowers. And then we're going to put one down on this side here. So let's put a little bit of adhesive there. We're going to tuck that one in. Like that. What do you think? Good? Happy? You guys think that looks okay? That little bouquet? Okay, I'm gonna get the glue off of my mat. And then I'm gonna come back in where that sticky flower was. It should be dry now. So I'm just gonna remove that little excess. Yep, got it. Okay. Oh, I forgot. We have to tuck in this really beautiful, isn't this so pretty? I just think it's so wild. I love it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on these pieces, and I'll bring it up to the camera so you can see about how much I put, like that. And I'm going to put a little bit right here. So there's my glue, okay? And I'm just going to tuck this kind of down, like coming out a little bit on the side and a little bit down right here. And I just love it. I think it's fantastic. Look at that. All right, so that's our little floral grouping. So now how do we put all of this funness together? So let me get my silicone mat out of the way. We don't need it on there. We're going to attach a ribbon, okay, around this piece. And I don't know how much because I didn't measure it. I just left it on the spool and I went around like this. I'll try and measure it for you guys this time if I can. And I was like, well, I need to tie my bow and I want to have it enough that I have room. So that looks about good. It's probably too much. So then I shorten it a little. And I'm going to go ahead and cut my ribbon. Yay, Rita, I'm so excited. I'm a brights girl, so I love our brights. Always have loved them. So this is a very big difference from our brights, but I think like we almost need all of them, you know, like every color has a purpose, right? Like we may not like the look of like, you know, decayed leaves or dead leaves, but they have a purpose in nature, and all our colors have a purpose in crafting. So I try and embrace the new stuff Stampin' Up! Gives us, and I try and put a positive spin on it to start out. And hey, if I end up not liking it, well, I don't use it that much. But you know, until you try, you don't know. So I'm going to pull this down a little bit because I'm going to bring these up together. And we're going to tie this in the corner, so I want them about even. And here comes the fun part, tying a bow with my new fingers. Let's see how I do. I did all right the first one, so we'll see. So I'm going to hold that. I cross them in an X, and then let's see if I can do it. We're going to make a loop. We're going to bring this one around and bring it through. Oh, don't try and get caught up there, mister. What's going on? This piece, oh, there we go. It just got caught. So I'm going to pull it, and then I'm going to straighten it. Because, you know, we got to make it behave. And when we can't make our bows behave, guess what we do to them? We glue dot them. Then no one knows our bows are not listening to us and doing what we want. So that's my little secret. So don't share. All right, so here we go. I'm going to pull on this one, make it a little shorter to begin with, and I'm going to bring that leg to the front because I want to be able to pull it. And you can see that this ribbon frays, but it is worth it because it is so gorgeous, this texture. I'm going to grab a little bit more and pull it. Here we go. I'm going to pull a little bit to make my bow a little bigger. There we go. That's the size of the bow. Now we're going to make it listen. All right, so I'm going to show you my trick. So we're going to take our glue dots. And by the way, guys, the glue dots come backwards now. You're welcome, Rita. And so save your rolls from your glue dots. Hold on to them so that when you get your backwards roll, you put a glue dot on this roll and then you stick your piece to it. And then you start rolling it, and then it will be the right way. So if you don't know that, there's a tip for you. I go through a lot of glue dots because I'm always having misbehaving bows. All right, so let's take this one here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it right here so that that little leg that wants to misbehave is going to have something to stick to, just like that. So see, now it has no one knows it's hiding. I stuck that piece to it, and see how it has no choice but to listen to me now? I told it to lay there, and that's where it's laying. So now I'm going to grab another one and secure the bow to the folded part. So I'm going to come in from the other way, and I'm going to put it underneath here, and that will secure the knot in place. This one seems to behave itself, and it's laying properly, so I'm going to leave that one alone. Let's just cut these frayed ends off, and I think I'm good here. I'm going to just tear this little piece, put my glue dots away. So see how you use your glue dots to make your bows do the right thing, because they just don't like to listen. So let me grab, I'll cut that at the end, but let me pull them out. All right, so let's see. We're going to put our little bouquet. Let's make sure we have this in the exact place that we want it, and I'm happy with that. So we're going to lay our bouquet. We're going to kind of tuck it here, and I want to angle it a little bit this direction. And then I want to stamp those words that say your friendship means everything. We'll have to find that stamp first. Oh, here it is. And it's going to be in Moody Mauve. And we're going to stamp it in that corner. And y'all pray for me, because if I stamp it wrong, there's no going back. So let's pray that I do it right. I'm not going to rock my stamp. I'm just going to lift it straight up. Yes, I did it. See, living on the edge. Living on the edge, girls. And John. And any guys that may watch my replay, sorry. I'm living on the edge here. So there's that. So let's go ahead and attach our little bouquet. And the last thing we're going to do to attach it is we're going to use, guess what? Our friends, the dimensionals. We have the minis and the regular dimensionals. And so I'm going to figure out what parts are sticking out and above my piece. So it looks like I'm going to have right there. So I'm going to hold my fingers there. So nothing up here is going to get dimensional. So I'm going to put one there to remind me. And we're just going to go across in that area and not go above it because we don't want any dimensionals to stick to close our pocket. Then we can't slide our piece in. And you can see that I've used some printed basic cardstock because I'm good like that. I use all my scraps. I'm a good girl. All right, so there's 6. I know that's probably too many, but I don't care. I'm going to put 2 on this leaf. And then I'm going to use the edges. You guys know how I like to use the edges of the dimensionals. See all these pieces? And I'm going to put 2 down the stem for support. So let's go ahead and put 1 here. Maybe a 3rd one. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a 3rd one. Let me cut 1 more. Oh, good, Lou. I'm glad you like the glue dot tip. I'm glad I could help. All right, so there's all the dimensionals that are needed. Let's tuck our little card in our pocket. Now that we have it secured, it's actually a pocket. I'm going to push that in there. And then we'll pull the backs off, of course, with my Take Your Pick tool, if I can find it. I've lost the clear plastic end to my Take Your Pick tool. I have no idea what I've done with it. It's somewhere in this craft room because I'm someone who always puts it back on, and I cannot find it. So I don't know what I've done with it. It's probably fallen on the floor, rolled under my desk or something crazy like that, and I can't find it. So hopefully I find it soon. I always end up finding everything in the weirdest places, so I have a feeling that it might have fallen on the floor. So there's our bouquet that we made of our daisies. We'll put it in place and then I'll trim the edges of my ribbon. So I'm going to go ahead and put this leaf like that. And I think that's really pretty. We'll place that. All right, let's trim those ends of our ribbon. There's one. Hold on to the little frayed end. There we go. And there is our Friendship Daisies Pocket Card. How cute is this card? Yay! I love it. I think it turned out fabulous. Let's bring in the Daisy stamp set. Let's get rid of my ribbon. Here's my dies. What else did we use? We used that. We used the dies. Oh, we used the scallops. Love these guys. Contoured scallop contours. Put those over here. And if you don't have this e-block, it can be your friend for gluing. Anybody have any questions? See, I didn't even put any embellishments. I just didn't think it needed it. I thought that it was enough and it was just pretty and I didn't want to put anything else on there. And so we used, let's see, we used Moody Mauve and Boho Blue and Pebbled Path for the back color, you know, for our base color. So we used 3 out of the 5 in colors. And I have already made 2 other cards. And in one of the other cards, I used Wild Wheat, Copper Clay, and Boho Blue. So that's the other 2 that I didn't use today. And then in another card, I used Mauve and Wild Wheat together with a little bit of Pebbled Path. So you guys are going to get lots and lots of ideas with this beautiful stamp set and the fantastic ink colors. Hopefully I'll use some more ribbons. I've been using twine and baker's twine, or linen thread and baker's twine so far, but I'm going to add some more ribbons. You're welcome, Clem. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Maleda. Thanks for being here, guys. I'm so grateful to have you with me and just part of my live stream every week. I'm very grateful for you, and I'm very, very happy that you enjoy my projects. Please share my videos with those you know. I would love to grow my channel even more. And if you want to save this video to possibly make this card later, you can always save it to your Pinterest. If you hit that share button at the bottom and you click that, you can actually share it to your Pinterest. Thank you, Tian. I'm glad to see that you were here. I'm glad that you loved the card, and I hope that you learned something today. I try and drop all these little tips and tricks, and when I make mistakes, because I mean, I make mistakes all the time, I try and show you guys what to do if you make the same mistakes, because, you know, we're a crafting community, and I love to share and, you know, let you see all my flaws. I'm definitely not a perfect stamper, but I do love what I do. Yay, Clem! And you can get free shipping tomorrow. Yay! All right, guys, thanks for being here. I'm so excited. I don't know which of the 2 cards that I've already done of the other ones I'm gonna put for tomorrow, but I will have a card bright and early tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so you guys can hop on and watch me make something else with the in colors. And the rest of the week, I'm going to have a card every day until Saturday, because I'm so excited to be stamping. You don't even know, these fingers are working, and I'm so happy. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments now, and if not, I'm going to let you go. Also, there'll be close-up photos of this card on my website, inkyhandswarmhearts.com. So if you have a minute, hop over there and catch it, or you can check it tomorrow as well. I do almost every single day. There's rare days I don't post, but almost every single day I post on my website. Thanks, Eileen. Have a good night. Tell Meme good night for me. I'm so excited that you, Rita, and you, Clem, did not really care for these colors, but now you love them. I love them so much. I think they're gorgeous. I mean, they are unusual, and we're not something that we've expected, but I think they're going to be phenomenal. And I think that when it's time for them to say goodbye, we're going to be sad to see them leave. All right, guys, I guess there's no questions, so thanks for being here. I'm going to let you guys go. The In Color Club is going to get the ink pads, the ribbons, the blends, the markers, and possibly this pack of paper. I still haven't figured it out, which is why I'm going to post it on Saturday. Oh, thank you so much, Tian. All right, guys, I guess I'm going to let you go. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you have forgotten to do so. I appreciate that. It helps YouTube know that my live video was something that people liked, and they will continue to pass it on to others. So thanks for being here. The replay will be available as soon as I hang up, Lisa. So if you want to watch it, you can watch it immediately. Thanks for being here, guys. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!